Hello everyone and welcome back to Nostos Strength and Conditioning, the home of the Nostos S&C podcast. As usual, I want to thank everyone for listening and watching. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. If you can keep that coming, that's only going to help me bring to you what you want to see and bring you less of what you don't want to see and hear. So recently we've had some professional fighters, MMA fighters, K1, amateur boxers, and today we slightly switch gears, which is, as much as I like mixed martial arts and everything around it, my true love, I can't lie, has always been wrestling. So I'm very excited to welcome professional wrestler Mr. Kit Knox.
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very good. It's good to have you on by popular demand.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I put out on my story, who do you want to see on here? And a couple of people was throwing your name around. I threw the question out to you. You obliged, so appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate the offer.
Let's not ignore this baby in front of us.
Yeah.
You recently won this.
Yesterday.
What is this? Tell me what it is. Yesterday.
This.
Okay, so what is this? What company? Everything.
Is the BCW Championship.
Okay.
BCW standing for Berkshire Championship Wrestling. It's a promotion based in Windlesham, which is on the borders of Surrey and Berkshire. It's a small little promotion, but it's growing with every single show. The fans and the crowd are just unbelievable, very loud, very passionate. Very nice place to be. Just buzzing since I won it. Took part in a rumble, which the winner was to receive a contract in a case, meaning they could cash in at any moment, any time for this championship. They had a main event, which was between two guys, one called Xander Rain, another called Barry Gonzalez. Barry Gonzalez beat Xander Rain for the championship to become the new BCW champion. No, I decided it was now time to cash in my opportunity, and I was able to get the better of Barry Gonzalez, and I am now the new BCW champion.
And this is, I don't know if there's other divisions, the heavyweight championship?
We don't like to discriminate. So we have, so it's an open weight. It does say heavyweight on it.
But that's just the belt.
But it's the main championship. They do have tag team championships, which my good friends, the Bone Brothers, hold currently.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Is this the first belt you've won? You just mentioned the tag team titles.
This is the first singles title I've won. I am also the current FCW tag team champion, one half of, which stands for Future Championship Wrestling, which is based up in the Midlands.
Okay.
In Gornal, I think the place is. So, yeah.
Cool.
2 current championships.
Excellent. So, you've mentioned a couple of companies there.
Yes.
So how does it work, let's say, not necessarily down at this level, let's say in this country, where wrestling potentially it wouldn't be as big. It's definitely growing. Not as big as the States.
Sure.
So how does it work at this level?
With regards to getting bookings?
To bookings, appearing on shows and companies, are you signed to a contract with a particular company?
No, you don't. You're not signed with a contract unless you work for, as far as I'm aware, WWE, AEW, and TNA and Ring of Honor, I believe.
Okay.
Everyone else, so basically at the level that I do it, a booking is either you chase them yourself, you contact a promotion and ask if they've got any space, or a promotion will come to you and ask you what you charge, what your rate is. And if obviously they're interested in having you, then that's how it works, basically. Okay. So anyone coming from anywhere in the country, show some interest, and then, like you say, if your wage matches what they want to be paying, then you're probably on the show.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. So I'm sure a lot of people are thinking this, and I mean, I'm more of an adult now, getting on 27, 28, and ever since I was young, pretty much. You know, you talk to me about wrestling, or you say I enjoy watching wrestling, and it's always a similar response. So I'll put that to you now.
Yep.
You know it's fake, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wrestling's fake, right? So
sure.
So explain that. What do you think about that?
The way I would answer that is wrestling isn't fake. Wrestling is predetermined. So the wrestlers know who's going to win or lose a match. Okay. There's nothing fake about bumping, as we call it, so hitting the mat, which will be in the ring, outside the ring, on turnbuckles and things like that. They all hurt to an extent, okay? They're not going to hurt as much as being slammed onto a concrete floor, because obviously the ring is designed to take such pressure and impact. So, but obviously the punches, they do connect. They're not full-on punches, obviously, because fighting like that, you'd be knocked out, right? MMA, UFC, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's realism to the punches. I mean, I've been clocked plenty of times. I've come home with black eyes. I've given people black eyes. I've kneed people in the face, and they've had nasty black eyes. So yeah, predetermined is what I say. It's basically
a predetermined outcome.
Exactly. It's basically like watching EastEnders with stuntmen. That's the best way I can explain it.
It's an interesting way of putting it. And I'm certainly up to date with the current product. I've watched it all my life.
Sure.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
I know you have.
Yeah, you know we spoke a lot.
For sure. So what's your views on the current product today? Let's talk WWE.
Okay.
There's multiple divisions. They've got multiple shows now. NXT, SmackDown, Raw, 205 Live,
Sure.
The women's division.
Yeah.
I'm naming a lot of things. So let's just say, like the current, especially I guess developmental, because let's say right now as it stands, if you continue to do well and excel, and if you wish to do that, and WWE came calling, you would likely be put into their developmental system, which is NXT.
Yeah, I would highly imagine that would happen. You've got guys that have been on the circuit a hell of a lot longer than me that have just been signed by WWE and they've been put into the developmental.
Sure.
And it's because they have the talent. My opinion is they have the talent, but WWE want them to do what WWE want them to do. So they'll take their stuff and they'll tweak it and they'll make them work towards. There's a lot of stuff to learn with WWE. Obviously, you go in to TV shows, which is obviously some guys already do that, but not for WWE on that scale. So they'll train you to like work what we call the hard cam and things like that. They call the hard cam, sorry. So yeah, obviously if I was ever picked up, which is a long shot, yeah, that's where I'd imagine I would be.
Okay. Have you worked with anyone? Do you know anyone who's had contact with WWE or NXT? Or?
I've been in the ring. I've been in a Rumble with Kip Sabian, who is now on AEW, which is like a close competitor with WWE. I'm trying to think who else. There's guys like Pretty Deadly who have just been signed by WWE now, and they've just gone into NXT UK. I haven't had a match with them, but I did a little spot with them, as we call it, a spot.
Okay.
I've been in the same change rooms as the likes of Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Will Ospreay, all massive names. Will Ospreay is arguably the best wrestler in the world. A lot of people would class him as that. Your Pete Dunne, obviously, you're probably very aware of. Amazing. These guys are probably they made the baseline for people being signed in the UK. Like they're the guys that've got the eyes on the UK product.
Sure.
And since they've been signed, it's just been kicking off in UK now and growing and growing.
Because now there's actually an NXT UK.
Yep.
I've heard plans of a UK performance centre.
I've heard that,
being built, which I think would be pretty amazing for me from a strength and conditioning standpoint.
Yeah,
that would be something I would look into.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess for you as a training wrestler, would be somewhere you'd look to be going.
Oh yeah, it would be unbelievable. I'm not sure what the deal is there. I'm not sure if you have to be invited down there or if you could just turn up and ask for a trial or whatever they want to call it. I'm not sure how that would work, if I'm honest.
Okay. So of course, like as you mentioned, the body needs to be conditioned to take in damage, bumps, flat back, all of these things, jumping around. You're taking hits. I mean, I'd ask you where you train, but as it's fake, you just turn up, right?
No, there's a lot of training.
This is all make believe. No?
Yeah, there's a lot of training. So,
of course. So you're conditioning, your training. Talk me through a little bit of that. What does that entail? How do you prepare to do what you do, to do what they do?
So it's a different kind of fitness. Obviously, you know, I've played with yourself. We've played football together. I can run around 90 minutes on a football pitch, but honestly, 5 minutes on a wrestling ring is completely different. Again, it's the same with MMA and UFC. It's different, and boxing. You can run around for 90 minutes, or you go in a boxing ring and you'll be blowing after you throw 4 or 5 punches.
Different energy system.
Completely different energy system. I remember I thought to myself when I started wrestling, I play football, I'll breeze this. I was in there for like 2 minutes and I was blowing, gasping for air. But yeah, so I started backyarding, as it's called. So no professional training. Just did what I saw on the TV. Very dangerous, but yeah. And then I went to a IPW show, which is International Pro Wrestling, in Milton Keynes, and I watched Will Ospreay versus Pete Dunne, and I was just sold. Like the atmosphere, the venue, the match that they had, I was just like, I have to do this. I have to try and take it to the next level. So I got in contact with a guy, and he was like, that owned IPW, and he's like, yeah, come down, train. So I trained there. I trained there for 6 months, made my debut for them, Another 6 months of hard work, training, twice a week. Made it to the main roster. That got sold. Wasn't on there anymore. And then I had to start training elsewhere. So I was training under Mike Bird, who's a very well-known coach. Trained there for a little bit. But obviously, I've got a work-life balance as well. I've got a full-time job. So that was becoming more and more difficult because it's quite a way away from me. In traffic, it takes me over 3 hours.
Okay.
Which I was consistently doing, but then it just got too much. And I do shift work as well, so it doesn't allow me to always be there. Like if training's on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it might fall on my shift, you know. So yeah, training-wise, I still with BCW, we'll set the ring up every week, and we'll go down, and I'll just keep doing what I know.
Okay.
And then when I can have the possibility of learning something new, I'll go ahead and do that too. So yeah.
Okay. So it's currently very grassroots, as you say. You have to go down and you set the ring up.
Yeah, mine is, yeah.
I can only imagine that creates a good bit of discipline. You got to really want to do that.
If
that's what you're going to be doing.
Putting the ring up is quite grueling. No matter how many hands you have on it, you can have quite a few hands on it. It takes a while, but I've set up rings where there's 2 or 3 of us, and it's long. It takes an hour to put that up, and then obviously once you finish training, you've got to take it down. So
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, let's say, being the wrestling side of things, do you go to a normal gym? Do you do conditioning work, weights? HIIT classes, anything like that?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I do HIIT classes. I probably should, to be fair, and this is the perfect place to do that, isn't it? So yeah,
that's what he
Nostos, strength and conditioning. This is where you want to be. But yeah, no, I'll do some weight training. I'm quite lucky. I've got a gym at work, so I'll step in there on my lunch break and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, the only way you can prepare for wrestling cardio-wise is doing wrestling cardio. So when you're running the ropes and you're running some spots that include a lot of up and down. Wrestling's a lot of up and down. That, you know, you're taking bumps, you're getting up. You're taking bumps, you're getting up. You're wrestling to the ground, you're getting up. So yeah, just a standard gym, weight stuff. And then, like I said, I still play football every now and then. Like I used to play it every week, but it's a lot more rare now. But do it when I can. And yeah, I might go for a run every now and then, but that's about it, to be honest.
Okay. And would you be considered, let's say in the wrestling game in general, would you be considered one of the smaller guys or the bigger guys? I mean, I guess people. Let's go back to the days of your Hulk Hogan's and the Macho Man. Everyone's muscle bound.
Nah, compared to me, Hulk Hogan's tiny, man. No, I'm joking. Compared to Hulk Hogan and stuff, I would be minute.
Yes, of course, yes.
But now, this day and age,
has wrestling changed in that way?
100%. You've got your guys like Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins.
You had to get
I don't know who Dolph Ziggler is, by the way. So, but yeah, no, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins. A lot of these guys are of a smaller build. They're not your Hulk Hogans and your Triple H's and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, now even at the sort of standard or level that I'm doing it now, you don't get any Hulk Hogans anymore. Not really. It's very, very rare.
And let's clarify. When we're talking about Hulk Hogan, we're talking like 6 foot.
The boy's 6'5",
300 pounds plus,
muscle,
like muscular.
You don't even really get that in WWE anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's a handful of people like that. I wouldn't even say to that level anymore. Like you got your Brock Lesnar, who's a big lad, but is he as big as Hulk Hogan was?
Yeah, debatable.
Debatable. Yeah. So
whereas I think, as you've mentioned, the top level stars now, your Seth Rollins, your Dolph Ziggler's,
Will Ospreay.
They're all of a smaller build, but
exactly.
athletic beyond.
Yeah, they've all got a bit of muscle on them and stuff like that, but no one's absolutely hench anymore.
So
to an extent.
So that's how you say maybe the business has changed from back in the day. The product that people are wanting to buy, they're not 100%. Looking for the bigger and the better. It's more what they're bringing to the table. Yeah, essentially the high flying stuff. Would you say?
Yes, it's a lot more popular now. A lot more popular now. AEW has a lot of it going on. A lot of people call it spot fest and things like that. And some people don't like it, some people do. But the best thing about wrestling is there's something for everyone.
Sure.
You can get your slow style wrestling, your technical wrestling, your fast wrestling, your high flying wrestling. So if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Watch what you want to watch. You know what I mean?
And I'm guessing the people who maybe haven't watched it as long as we watched it, maybe wouldn't understand that. But if you're going to sit there and watch, like today, this day and age, you're going to sit and watch an Undertaker match.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a fast-paced, high-flying match,
No,
but you're going to enjoy it because that's the Undertaker.
Yeah.
If you watch a Rey Mysterio match,
you're going to get more quickness.
You're going to know what you're going to watch.
Some more athletic stuff. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Cool. And it is interesting. We're discussing wrestling, and I think a lot more people that are going to want to admit are going to be listening and watching to this and probably interested, know who we're talking about, know who we're mentioning. And it's funny because all my life, I would say that when you speak to someone about wrestling, or someone overhears, me and you have shared changing rooms and we're chatting away about what happened or whatever. Yeah. And I would say the initial response is, oh, you're not grown up yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Or something silly like that. It's derogatory, it's negative.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean, if you're into it, you're into it.
Yeah.
And we've never shied away from admitting we're into it.
100%.
Us and a few of our friends ourselves. And
yes.
The funnier thing I feel like is a few minutes later, they're involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
The same guys who overheard, talk about, and then it's, I remember The Rock.
Absolutely bang on.
I remember Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Oh, is Triple H still in it?
Exactly. It's quick. It's amazing how quick they change. Yeah.
Yes.
Like you say, the amount of times me and you have had conversations and people say what they say, and then we just carry on. We're just like, whatever, man. And we carry on because I don't know. It's like a guilty pleasure for people. Like I do believe that if it comes up on TV when they're channel surfing, they'll leave it on for a bit. They will leave it on.
See
for a
who's
bit.
on.
Yeah.
What's happening.
Oh, I remember wrestling. I remember Hulk Hogan and The Rock and stuff, and they'll see what's going on now. And I think a lot of guys do like wrestling. I do. But for some reason they're embarrassed sometimes. Like I think not as much now. No. I think it's a much bigger thing now. I don't know if it's in the same place as like when we were kids, where we collect the stickers and the figures and stuff like that. I'm sure it is, but yeah.
I mean, we can go back. I'd say it was definitely a different time, a different product. But let's go back to what we would refer to as the Attitude Era. Yeah. 90s. Yeah. Leading all the way in, you got The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H. Yeah. It was cool to like wrestling then.
100%.
No doubt.
Yeah. It was,
then you move towards the sort of the PG era.
Yeah.
When people start becoming a bit more aware. You couldn't have so much more alcohol on TV or trying to sell the women as anything like that. Yeah. The John Cena's came in, the Randy Ortons, the Batistas, the Brock Lesnar's, that sort of era. You definitely say the Eddie Guerrero's era ascended, although I think we'd agree he certainly transcended through the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, all of the above, and then to today. And I guess as you grow up, as I've seen from most people, when you're at school, you were potentially talking about it. Some people were into it, some people weren't. Yeah. And then I guess people grow out of it. Yeah. Fair to say we just didn't.
No, never
catch that mold.
No, I mean, this is embarrassing, but I think I was playing with my wrestling action figures till I was about 17 years old. So, and I just remember my dad used to come in and he'd just look at us like, "What are you doing? Like, just grow up." Like,
well, not only that, I mean, you're one of five.
One of five, yeah.
4 brothers.
Three brothers.
There's 4 boys. So you have 3 brothers.
I have 3 brothers and a sister.
Yes.
And one of my brothers, Stu, he was very much into wrestling with me. The other 2 weren't really bothered. But yeah, me and Stu used to go in the garden, put each other through fences and stuff. We wrestled so much that we literally fell down the stairs once and came crashing through the shoe rack. So yeah, we used to love it. And like I said, we were playing with figures till we were about 17 years old. Oh wait, he would have been younger, so it's more embarrassing for me. But yeah, no, it was wicked. We used to set it all up. We used to put their music on, bring the figures out, keep records of who was champion. Sad life, man.
And obviously all the PlayStation games.
All of them.
Always into that.
All of them, yeah. This one will probably be the only one I haven't bought so far in my whole life. Yeah, this year.
You could be on it. I mean, why would you not buy it?
I mean, I can make myself on it, yeah. I can make myself up, create a character.
You've definitely made yourself before.
100%.
Dolph Ziggler's pants.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler's on it, so technically I'm on it.
Probably get it for that. Yeah, exactly. So I'd be amiss not to mention the day of all days. Today, my fiance will listen to this one, but it's currently... it's probably the best day of my life currently so far.
It still will be after, man.
You're married and you got kids. I'm not going to push this on you, but WrestleMania 28, Miami, Florida. The Rock beats Cena.
Yeah.
In his hometown. It was a bit of a day.
It was. Well, what were we there? 3 days, 3 or 4 days we were there.
4 days, I believe, we was in Miami.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Jambo, Stu, Ahmed, and Greenie who were with us.
Yeah.
Because we should probably explain Stu being my brother-in-law, your brother.
Yes.
That's our connection. let's go back, man. What was that day like for you? WrestleMania 28, Miami, Florida.
First of all, the trip itself was unbelievable. Just being in Miami, South Beach, Philly cheesesteaks that we had all the time.
Finished a few of them.
One of those days, I think I was in bed by 2:00 in the afternoon, where I just got so smashed in like an hour, happy hour.
Happy hour was a fun day.
And I took advantage of happy hour.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, what a trip. Like, it was always a dream to go to WrestleMania. So to go to Miami, which is The Rock's hometown, and beating John Cena with a bunch of good friends was just unbelievable. It was amazing. Also, like I said, The Rock was my favorite wrestler growing up, but as I got older, it became Triple H. And to know that match that we saw, Triple H versus The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell, was Triple H's favorite match of all time. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure he said that. That's amazing to know that we were at that match. We witnessed his favorite ever match. So, yeah, just the triple round was emotional. It was top. It was.
I was sharing a room with Jambo,
Yeah.
one of my oldest best mates, and I remember us laying in bed 3 a.m. just wired.
Oh,
I've never experienced anything like it.
I was wired when I got home. I
Yes.
was and emotional.
Days
like,
later.
yeah, honestly, one
No,
or
I
2 days
agree.
later, I was still
was-
buzzing.
I will still post photos of it.
Yeah.
I will always post photos of it.
I would if I still had my phone with the pictures on. But I've lost everything from that, man.
No.
But yeah, I see your pictures, and obviously as soon as you post them, it brings up memories.
I'm sure I've still got my ticket actually up in. Up in
I've got mine.
office.
I got I got a plaque that had John Cena and The Rock on. Yeah, and I got when we
Oh,
were there, I got it in the WWE
Really?
shop. Yeah, I've still got that.
And again, your brother Stu got really excited and actually purchased a
He bought a championship belt. Yeah,
which
I think he has in the loft now or something, which
is
is
something silly.
disgusting.
My sister wasn't best pleased.
No.
It wasn't cheap,
I mean, they're not cheap, no. So I
They're
can
not
understand
cheap.
her.
but it was worth it to
It
walk
was,
around the
yes,
stadium
yeah,
all
they're-
wearing it, thinking that we were the
We were
champ.
the champ.
But now you are the champ.
And now I'm a
Chris.
champ. Yeah.
And
Full circle.
I've actually always said I will never. I honestly truly believe. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm biased, but I honestly believe that is the best Mania card. Potentially ever.
Potentially, yeah.
Considering how we grew up and our era.
I think so.
And you had a CM Punk Chris Jericho match.
Yeah.
A Kane versus Randy Orton match.
Yeah. The quickest ever title change
Daniel
in WrestleMania
Bryan
history, I believe. Which was
Lost
3
his title
seconds.
to Sheamus.
Yep.
Undertaker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels,
Unbelievable.
special guest referee.
And what a moment that was. Let me just say, when Shawn Michaels super kicked The Undertaker into Triple H's pedigree, I was convinced that Triple H had finally beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And I turned to the side and looked at some guy, and he must have been about 40, 45. He's in tears. And like that just shows the emotion like a wrestling fan has.
For sure.
Like, I'm assuming he was supporting The Undertaker, and he was just like, oh no, it's over. But obviously, Undertaker kicked out
Wasn't
and
to be.
beat my boy. But yeah,
And they shared a moment at the top of the stage,
Yeah.
which,
because that's what wrestling's about.
for sure.
Yeah, because like we say, wrestlers predetermined, right? So you
So
go
they
out
knew
there.
that was going to happen. And
Yeah,
people can,
they knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
The fans didn't, but they're friends. They have that like I said, I'm very close with 2 guys called the Bone Brothers. Like I class them as brothers, and just watching them do well, even when they're not working with me and they're somewhere else, like that's great for me. Like I love seeing that. I love seeing people I care about doing well. And that'd be the same with WWE, that match, Triple H and The Undertaker. They would have just been emotional when they got backstage, just creating that story that they did and that they told. What more can you do?
I guess, like you said, you're EastEnders with stuntmen. I mean, you've got a predetermined outcome. You've got you and another guy, or if you're in a tag team. But let's say you against one other guy.
Yeah.
You need to get to this outcome.
Yeah.
This guy needs to win.
Yeah.
You need to sell the crowd.
Yep.
You can't just go out there, lay down and get pinned.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to pay to come and watch that.
Exactly.
So you need to make it out as if you're going to win.
You have to tell a story.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, you need to believe every single match, unless the promoter that books you wants it to be different. He books you versus me, and he wants you to destroy me. Then I'm not going to look like I'm going to win at any point in that match. Okay, but yeah, he wants me and you to have a great match, and he wants it to be close, very close encounter one, and then you win, but you catch me with something unexpected. You've got to tell that story. You've got to build to that. I need to. Even though I'm losing, I need the crowd to believe that I'm going to win, and I'm definitely going to win at some point. Okay. And that's it. That's doing your job. Yeah. If the promoter's booking someone to tell that story and they don't, they're probably not going to book them again. Yeah. They can look like $1 million, but if they're not doing what they want and they're going out there just trying to get themselves over, like it's a two-way dance, you know. And it is a dance. You work together. Your job is to get that guy over, and that guy's job is to get you over. you both get over.
And keep each other safe in the
Keep
process.
that is the number one thing. Yeah, that is the number one rule. Keep each other safe. Definitely.
I think the thing that I've always enjoyed about it, because some people who don't get it, who don't like wrestling, and you don't have to like wrestling.
No.
I don't like many sports.
Yeah.
I just don't understand them. I don't watch them.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Yep.
And I guess we would refer to wrestling as sports entertainment.
Yes.
Professional wrestling.
Yes.
You do have collegiate wrestling,
Yep.
which is legit, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're talking about
amateur
the show,
wrestling.
And amateur wrestling
Is Olympic wrestling, yeah,
Of
and that's
course.
obviously legit.
So we're saying that. I was just thinking, now I've got Kurt Angle in my mind. For some
Yeah,
reason.
well-
Now I've just gone completely off and thinking of collegiate wrestlers like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
What are we
there's a
talking
few of them in
about?
there. Shelton Benjamin, there's a few that have come from
Yeah, that have crossed over.
background now. Yeah.
But sorry, where I was going with that is, some people you hear them moan about, let's say like boxing events, mixed martial arts events. I seem to mention him in every podcast. Here comes Conor McGregor again.
Yeah.
He knocks people out in 13 seconds. He finished Cowboy recently.
Yeah.
And what I'd always argue
What a
is,
kick that was.
if you pay X amount of money to go and watch a wrestling show, a WWE show, any show, and it's like from 7 to 10, or you're guaranteed 3 hours
Yeah.
of entertainment.
Yeah. 100%.
If
Yeah.
you go to a boxing show or an MMA show,
You're not guaranteed.
you're not
that.
guaranteed anything. You're
No.
guaranteed 5 matches.
Yeah, which could all be 30 seconds or less.
Correct.
You know. So yeah, you're always going to get and that's the difference.
So I feel like you get your money's worth. Is where I'm
Yeah,
going
you do.
with it.
You do, because and not every match will be the same. And I don't mean that by they won't all be one-on-ones. They won't all be tags. You'll get a variety of different
Not all
matches.
men. The
Not all men,
women's,
exactly.
The women's wrestling. This
Women's
day and age,
wrestling
I
is
mean,
picking
wow.
up hugely and has been for the last few years, 3, 4 years, 5 years. They're doing very well and carrying their brand very, very well. So yeah, not everything's the same. But the point I was getting at is, you might have a main event that's going to be 20 minutes long. You might have the first match, which is going to be 10 minutes, and they might throw a match in there that's going to be 5 minutes. So you don't always expect a match to go on a certain amount of time.
Yes.
They keep you guessing all the
keep it
time.
varied.
Yeah. Like we had at WrestleMania, the bell went, the geezer turned round, he kicked him in the face, and he pinned him, and it was over.
And
3
that was
seconds at WrestleMania.
And that set the night up, really.
Set the
didn't it?
night up, yeah.
That really just descended from there. We felt that. We all said, actually agreed. Do you remember that
100%, yeah.
match? We haven't come down since that moment.
No, that's it. We didn't.
was
You were on a
just-
high.
They just kept going.
That WrestleMania was good. I think anyone that goes to WrestleMania is going to tell you that WrestleMania was the best WrestleMania. They just will. But I think if you take out that we went and you actually look at it from an outside point of view, like you said, the card
Look
was
at the card.
unbelievable.
With the people that were at the Jericho,
people that was on it,
CM
yeah.
Punks.
And again, like you say, the stories they told and how WWE actually did that whole WrestleMania with the 3-second match at the start and a title change at that.
Mm-hmm. The Rock coming back when we weren't sure. I mean, look at The Rock now.
Yeah.
If someone said he's coming back full-time
Yeah.
wrestling to
Yeah.
win a title, you'd be like, well, he's
Yeah.
not. You know,
I mean-
he's filming this, he's filming that.
Yeah.
Which was happening at the time.
Yeah, it
which
was.
is why I don't think any of us really, truly thought...
No, you just thought you made that appearance.
He
and
can't hold the belt. He's coming back for a
Yeah,
little
yeah, the-
hurrah for John Cena and
Yeah, you
Cena
thought he was
will
just
get
going
the
to
win, and off he goes.
Exactly. That's exactly
So
what
it was
you thought
almost
going on.
like...
Yeah. And it was a 2-year build anyway,
Massive
because
shot.
the next WrestleMania they had The Rock versus
Sure.
Cena, and Cena won that time. So
But even that 1 year build that we had
Yeah.
was unprecedented.
yeah,
I remember that happening. I believe some phone calls went around our group as to say, I think we need to go
yeah,
to this might be the year.
yeah.
Because I think WrestleMania 30, I think a few of us that we played football, Stu and Jambo, me and you, and it was always a dream of everyone's, regardless. And I
Yeah,
think WrestleMania 30 was always earmarked because that must be a big one.
It's
that
a roundup,
will be
isn't
a
it?
big one. It's a
Yeah.
roundup, whatever.
yeah.
But I think when that match was made, it was like...
That was a decider. It was, wasn't it?
We
I
need
keep
to
saying
be
100%, but yeah, it was. It was the decider, definitely.
And funnily enough, WrestleMania 29, apart from that match, wasn't that great. All due respect to all the wrestlers on there, but
Do you know what?
for me as a fan, it wasn't.
So much so that I
anyone
can't
like-
really remember it.
No,
I-
I'll show you a bit later, but
Yeah.
it's not good.
No?
Trust me,
Who
it's
was the
not
main
good.
event of that one?
Well, obviously it was Rock Cena.
Oh,
I'm
was it
pretty
Rock
sure it might
Cena
have been
one?
like Del Rio and
Yeah, no,
Sheamus or something
ain't nobody got
really
time for
not amazing.
No.
Not too amazing. So bringing it back to you, have we got any upcoming bookings or shows, or where can we see Kit Knox? Or
I've got a show tomorrow for WrestleForce, and they travel all over. They do shows all over the place.
cool.
I I am not 100% sure where it is tomorrow.
Okay.
It's all on my diary and stuff, so it's not like I don't care.
He's a busy man.
It's just, yeah, it's on my diary, and I know when I'm going and what time I have to be there. I'm on shows fairly consistent now. I would say either once a week or once every other week, and sometimes I get them in bulks where I have 2 or 3 a weekend. So it's getting busier. To here, the most local one would be BCW, Berkshire Championship Wrestling, and it's always at the same venue. They don't really move around.
Cool.
So yeah, if anyone's interested, come down there. It's in Windlesham, like I said earlier, which is on the cusp of Berkshire and Surrey, right in the middle.
Nice.
But yeah, that's what I've got. One tomorrow, and then I think I might have one on next Sunday as well.
Cool. Okay, so we can get our information on your Instagram.
Yes, Instagram is KitKnox_. I think I'm the same on Twitter.
Okay.
You can follow me on Facebook, which is just KitKnox.
We can follow you on there.
You can follow me on there. Yeah, I've just started a Twitch account, which I've never used, but I'm planning to do that.
I don't even
Twitch
know
is gaming, man. That's another passion I have.
Okay, fair enough.
One of my good buddies, one of the Bone Brothers, he does it, and I watch him all the time. It's quite sad when you're just sitting there watching someone else game, but it's quite addictive as well.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe doing that at some point. So if you are interested,
all right, each to their own.
Yeah.
All the best with that, man. All the best with the wrestling. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate the offer.
Do you want to shout anyone else out just before we head out of here?
No.
Screw them all. All right. Thanks, guys. So you can catch this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. Thanks again to KitKnox for coming on. It's much appreciated. And I'll catch you down the road.